I'm Jeff Beebe. I'm the program manager for emerging technologies, and as I like to say, it's great because I get basically three questions. What if? Why not? What do you think? So keep that in mind as we're viewing through all these. What if? Why not? And what do you think? So there I am. What do we do here, Ruth?
One by one, you'll see.
Okay, Ruth changed the slides on me. Okay, again, think of it as emerging technologies. So we're the out-of-the-box thinkers. What else is out there? Ruth, what did you do to me?
Just one at a time.
Okay, all right. So emerging technologies is broken down into 8 different areas. Go through those real quickly because a lot of them are given in different, whether it's center presentations here, or in other areas. So we have 3D printing or additive manufacturing now. VT in space. We have our Space at VT group with a new building over there. Again, think about CubeSats about the size of a shoebox. Put it on something, a payload that can go out into space and has a little extra room and do experiments and everything. Lots of cool things, lots of room for collaborations. That's the what if, why not? Deep Dives, our Center for Innovation-Based Manufacturing. Great group, they get their students in on a Saturday morning, they spend all day and they say, okay students, here is a challenge for you, go do it. And they come up with good ideas, they come up with new ideas, they come up with something new and exciting to take a look at. And there's a lot of different challenges that they have done. I think they've done 8 deep dives over the last couple of years. And that's a group that if you have something that you want to present and have them think about, that'd be something to bring into ICTAS and we can view it as a possibility. They're kind of like, let's take a look at it from a whole different perspective. Sick humanoids make us well. Sick humanoids, okay. So we have humanoids, and it's from the humanoid hospital. So imagine, if you will, we've got the humanoids there. How can we have this relate to what the doctors do? How can we treat sicknesses? I wish last week that there had been a humanoid that they could have worked on before they started throwing drugs my way. But again, there's different things that these humanoids can do and that we can, I'll say, experiment on, test on and everything. But again, well, what if we do this? Well, why not try that? Safety and Health, our Occupational Safety and Health Research Center, OSHROC. Again, a lot of times we're thinking about the construction sites, slips and falls. Is the ladder too tall? Should you go on a ladder when the winds are at this speed? But a lot of times you'd be surprised. How many times have we at home been on a ladder reaching out to paint or do something when we shouldn't have? There are many times and they study things like this. So I know I've been guilty of that also. Nuclear, not energy. We have a nuclear program mainly based up in Northern Virginia, but they deal a lot with the other aspects of it, not only energy, but what about like nuclear medicine and nuclear radiation with foods and policies. Again, should we build more nuclear? Some people say nuclear is great. Other people will sit there and say, well, what about the waste? So they look at a lot of the different policies and procedures and view these things. Bats, beetles, and flying snakes. Our Bio-Inspired Science and Technology group, I'm not going to say too much about that because that will be the first presentation that you're going to hear about. And then big data. We heard it a couple times here. We've worked so many years on getting a better pump, pushing that information out. But now what do we say? We have too much information. How can we better filter it so that we have great information that we can use and we get it to the right people at the right time? So that's our emerging technologies, and now I'm going to turn over to Roop Mahajan, our Thurst leader.
Well, I'm just going to make a couple comments. I think those slides represent a mixture of different projects. If you go by the classic definition of emerging technology, and I think I shared that paper with a number of you last year in the Wall Street Journal in January of 2012, they talked about 3 major emerging technologies. Big data, smart manufacturing, think of additive manufacturing, and pervasive communication. Well, it turns out wireless at VT are the cognitive radio communication work that we are doing. So it happens that we have actually been working in all those 3 areas with the NICTAS even before that article appeared in Wall Street Journal. But in our definition of emerging technologies, we include all those, and even some of the other areas which might be emerging only just for Virginia Tech. For example, occupational safety and health. I won't classically put it under emerging technology. So if some of the academics are in academia, if you are having a question of how come that is part of the emerging technologies, we have all the classic emerging technologies plus what is sort of so pertinent to Virginia Tech or ICTAS that we have not been working in that before, and we want to look into some different aspect of that technology. Okay? So the only last other comment is, we in the emerging technology, we also want to start thinking about black swan disruptive technologies, and that's why we have a black swan seminar, where we are looking at what will make you under that question. Jeff was talking about 3 questions, but in black swan we asked the question, what new technology will come along which will make you unemployable or irrelevant in salary? So under that kind of a questioning, we can think of the next technology. I just recently finished reading the book. It's called The Idea Factory, Bell Labs and the Age of Innovation. And it will be available soon in our library that we are trying to set up in ICTAS. But some of those who are interested in emerging technologies and how it is done and how it is managed, you might want to read that book. It's called The Idea Factory. And next week, if anyone wants to borrow it from me, I will have a couple, I'm ordering 3-4 copies of that book. And if you want to borrow it and see it, how high power R&D is managed and how it flourishes, that's an excellent book. And it talks about some of the golden age of Bell Labs when we invented transistor, we invested fiber optic, we made cellular communication, first picture phone, laser, you name it. All that came together under a galaxy of high towering people. But I think there was the management philosophy, or there was the culture, and that's what under emerging technologies we want to create. So I think we'll get it. That's it. I think we don't have more time to go class-wise at this point. Thank you.
So directly funded for emerging technologies, we had 2 areas. The first one, the ultra-rapid energy efficient synthesis of functional structural materials. That one will be presented, as you see, on Wednesday, so be sure to mark your calendars for that. But right now, we're going to have Rolf Mueller come up and talk to us about bio-inspired science and technology.